guys, welcome back to our Ditch and Switch series. I am so excited to be back and doing these with you guys. It's been a rough month. All right, but I'm back. So let's continue going through my house and looking at things that we personally have ditched and switched and why and all the things. So this morning we are going to talk makeup. I am not a huge makeup user. Most of the time you will see my face, it is bare. But when I do use makeup, I have switched from using the stuff I used to get from the big box store to Young Living's Savvy Minerals makeup line. And I have done a couple of videos on Savvy Minerals before. But this is just going to be a general talk about makeup and what you might find in makeup that you do purchase from the big box store. Are you ready? All right. So as always, all of these weird ingredients, just type in dangers of in your web browser and see what comes up. I will just tell you what I found. But as always, I recommend that you do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Because I want you to find this stuff out for yourself. It means more that way. All right. So what are some things that can be found in makeup, in your big box store, just over-the-counter normal makeup that most people use? Synthetic colors is the first one, which really isn't that surprising that there would be synthetic colors in makeup because there's a lot of makeup out there and there's a lot of it that is not in natural colors. I have seen, the bright blue lipsticks and the blacks and all kinds of fun colors. But what is some of the dangers of synthetic colors? They can be derived from petroleum or coal tar. They can be a skin irritant, and a few other things that I probably can't mention on a video. So as always, do your own research. Of course, everything can contain some kind of fragrance, especially like the flavored or smelly lipsticks or lip glosses. Those are very popular. We have talked about the dangers of fragrance over and over again. So I'm not going to beat that dead horse. But as always, search it for yourself. Dangers of fragrance. This one actually surprised me. I did not realize that sodium lauryl sulfate, or SLS, remember that's that foaming agent we've talked about before, can actually be present in mascara. So you're putting this foaming agent real close to your eye. I had no idea that could even be a thing in mascara, but apparently it can be. And remember, your SLS can be an eye irritant. So why would you want to put it directly next to your eye? That's crazy. Some other things that can be present in makeup: propylene glycol. I'm not sure if we've talked about this one, so I'll spell it for you. Propylene, propylene glycol, glycol. So, let's see. It says that, or what I found when I typed in dangers of propylene glycol was that it can possibly be toxic to the liver and kidneys. Remember, your liver is your body's filter, so you want your liver working well. Children under 4 might not be able to metabolize it. So if your daughter is wanting to wear your makeup, which mine does all the time, you do want to make sure there is no propylene glycol in it, especially if they're young, because their body may not be able to get rid of it. And any buildup of chemicals that stay in the body is not a good thing. And then there are some other things listed under dangers of propylene glycol. And then the last one I have listed here on my fancy little list is formaldehyde. Y'all, I am familiar with formaldehyde because I used to work in a laboratory and we used it as a preservative. It's a nasty smelling chemical. I don't recommend formaldehyde. We worked with formaldehyde under a vent hood. Again, we used it to preserve tissues and things like that. Don't think I want to put it all over my skin or in my products, but it can be present in eyeshadows. Again, I had no idea that formaldehyde, which we used as a preservative for tissue samples, and like in my biology class, the specimens we were dissecting were in formaldehyde so that they wouldn't decay and we could actually spend weeks working on them. I personally find that pretty gross that it can also be present in eyeshadows. Blech. But of course, formaldehyde is another skin irritant. And it can be a carcinogen. All the please research these things for yourself. Come to your own conclusions. Don't take my word for it. But in my research, that is what I have found. So, what have I switched out for? I already mentioned the Savvy Minerals line from Young Living. This is just kind of, I'm going to show you a couple things. So this is an eyeshadow palette that I had gotten way back at the beginning. Again, I don't go through makeup very quickly, so this stuff for me lasts and lasts and lasts and lasts for like years because I don't use a ton of it. I have the powder foundation. They do have a liquid foundation that came out, I believe, last year. I actually prefer powder, but if you like liquid, they have that as well, which does give you a more full coverage as well as concealer. That is brand new as well. So they do have the palette eyeshadows. They also have the individual powdered eyeshadows, which are a lot of fun. This is actually one of my favorite colors. It's a pale whitish color. So I love using this one for highlighting. It's really nice, and I think it's called Wanderlust. Anyway, so I've got my whole bag here. Yes, I've had it forever. Of different I've got lipsticks and blush and bronzer and all the things. Again, I'm really cool using powders because I have pretty much from the beginning. I've never been big on liquids or heavy makeup. I love how light this stuff is. It doesn't feel junky like I'm wearing a ton of makeup. Although I can get some very dramatic results just depending on how I apply it. You apply minerals wet, they're darker and more dramatic. You apply them dry, they're lighter and more subtle. Just depends what kind of look you're going for and how much you like playing. I have had lots of fun playing with this stuff. So I will go ahead and link some of my previous Savvy videos if you're not familiar with how to apply mineral makeup. You might want to check those out. All right. That was all I had for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you later. Bye, guys.